Sandrone is almost here, guys. I honestly have to keep pinching myself because I'm not really quite sure if this is real or not, but no, it is definitely real. The marionette, the next harbinger, Sandrone, is right around the corner, and this has been one of my absolute favorite harbingers ever since the Winter Nights Lotso trailer that we saw many years ago. But I am so excited for this that I want to go over her kit a little bit, everything that we learned from the 6.7 special program, and maybe answer along the way whether Sandrone is the character that you want to be pulling in the next patch. Sandrone looks like she's going to be our next Cryo Claymore user, and she definitely brings something very new to the table, being the Stellar Linchpin, a brand new type of vision, because we have regular visions, we have the moon wheels, and now we have the Stellar Linchpins as well, which also bring new reactions to the table. So with the Cryo Stellar Linchpin on Sandrone, it looks like we're going to get a brand new variation of the Super Conduct reaction. Using the new Stellar Conduct reaction with Sandrone, we'll create what's called a Pulsar field. Basically, another type of circle impact that you got to stay within in order to do the Stellar Conduct reaction, I believe. And while in the Pulsar field, all enemies' physical resistances are reduced, meaning possible Eula comeback. I don't know. We bringing her out of retirement? We will certainly find out. But also, Electro, Cryo, Superconduct, and Stellar Conduct reaction damage is increased as well. Now, I'm sure you guys are probably wondering, do you need Sandrone on your team to be able to create this Pulsar field? And I have a funny feeling that she is going to be the catalyst for that. Also, being within the Pulsar field will give certain characters a nice little boost with the Stellar Conduct reaction. So do you guys remember the divination video with Barbeloth? It was a really short video where she was looking through the Scryglass, and there was different characters that were coming through on there. You have Risley, you got Sino, you have Mizuki, Chi-Chi, Beidou. You have a bunch of different characters that definitely needed a little bit of a buff, especially with the crazy characters coming out nowadays. Well, our suspicions are correct, guys. We are getting a buff on all of these characters as long as they are within that Pulsar field. For instance, if Risley is within the Pulsar field, he will be able to use his charge attack more frequently to regenerate more HP, in turn keeping his normal attacks enhanced. Yae Miko is definitely a character that benefits a ton from the Pulsar field, and she just got a ton of different buffs in this next patch. So while Yae Miko is within a Pulsar field, her different pylons that she puts down from her elemental skill will have their duration extended. And then using her elemental burst will not destroy those pylons. And then even on top of all of that, guys, her pylons that she puts down from the elemental skill will deal extra damage, and this extra damage is considered Stellar Conduct damage. And probably one of the most crazy buffs that I saw come out of the special program is Chi-Chi. All of a sudden, those lost 50/50s don't seem so bad anymore. So when you use Chi-Chi's elemental skill within a Pulsar field, she will then buff the Stellar Conduct reaction done by your other characters. And also alongside of that, she will also deal more off-field damage with her skill as well. That is absolutely crazy to think about, that Chi-Chi, of all characters, is getting actually kind of a cool buff. And the last buff that they mentioned in the 6.7 special program is Sino. So while Sino is within a Pulsar field, if you use his elemental skill, he will temporarily, for a short little bit, enter the Pack-Sworn Path Clearer state, and he will deal some pretty good damage. And you can kind of think of it as Diet Burst for Sino. Yeah. I know this is technically a video that's going to be about Sandrone and her kit, but seeing as a lot of these characters are affected by the Pulsar field that I believe Sandrone is the only character that can put down, I think it's definitely worth mentioning. And plus, I'm just super excited that these characters are getting an actual buff. So I do have to mention the elephant in the room, and I know you guys also noticed it as well, and that is the fact that Polonia is not next to Sandrone. That makes me very sad. Like, how badass would it be to see a giant hulking mech just like doing the fighting with Sandrone on the field? That would be absolutely amazing, but Polonia is not there, and I do know Polonia was run through the ringer in the Nodcry Archon quest, so I'm really hoping that Polonia's actually okay and just at home making cookies for the next tea party. But there is a new mech that is next to Sandrone in her battles, and that is Fagio. And Fagio is going to be a massive part of the damage dealt from Sandrone. Very much like Neuvillette, it looks like Sandrone's charge attacks are going to be the biggest part of her damage. So using Sandrone's charge attack will allow Fagio to fire condensed beams, and the damage dealt this way is going to be considered stellar conduct damage. But there is an overload feature on this, and you'll see these two bars kind of come up to the top and then they will turn red, and that means that the decoding power for Fagio is at the maximum. And then you can switch over to Sandrone's elemental skill, and that will release the decoding power from Fagio, because as soon as you hit that very top, that overload piece, then you'll notice that the firing rate of the condensed beams is massively decreased. So you want to kind of switch between the charge attack and the elemental skill, and the elemental skill in turn in between the charge attacks will fire some prism shots. It looks like using Sandrone's elemental burst is also going to be a big part of her damage as well, and when you use her elemental burst, she's going to have the whole Starfleet just firing at your opponents, causing cryo damage. And if she is within a Polestar field, that cryo damage gets converted to stellar conduct damage as well. And it looks like we're going to be using pretty much all of Sandrone's kit on this one, guys. It was mentioned that having Sandrone in your party will further buff the stellar conduct reaction damage. Now, there's a lot of different buffs that are going on here that they're talking about, whether it's within the Polestar field or within just having Sandrone in the team. So whether these buffs actually stack or not, that's definitely going to be something that I'm going to have to wait and see until I'm able to get my hands on her kit and really find out how to play her. On top of everything within Sandrone's kit, there are a couple little Easter eggs in there that maybe aren't so much battle worthy, and seeing as the headquarters of the Adventurers Guild is in Snezhnaya, and also the fact that Catherine is technically Sandrone's creation, you get a nice little gift of tea every time you go to get your daily commissions. Now, we all know how much Sandrone loves her tea parties, and Sandrone comes with a portable tea table that she can take anywhere in Teyvat. Now, whether this is a friendship level 6 reward or not, I'm not quite sure, but once you get this portable tea table, you can actually invite different characters from all over Teyvat to have a tea party with Sandrone and get a special anecdote and dialogue with it. So for those of you that love the different dialogues and hanging out with the different characters all over Teyvat, this is definitely something for you. One of my absolute favorite things that I saw during the special program isn't anything to do with her kit. It is just a simple voice line, and this is a testament to that the devs are actually listening and seeing everything that we say on X, on Instagram, on wherever, and that is the fact that Sandrone does not like her skirt. With her new character design, yeah, the skirt was quite a bit shorter, and the devs listened to us complain about it, and they decided to add a nice little voice line about it.
The skirt really wasn't made for weather like this. How in the blazes did Rosalind used to cope? Ha!
That is just so funny to me that the devs heard that and they're like, you know what? Let's add a voice line about that. Now, whether I don't like it or not, I mean, I'm pretty indifferent to the whole thing. Did they really need to shorten her skirt? No, I don't feel that they do. I would have been just as happy playing Sandrone with her older design with the longer skirt, but you know, it's all up to you guys on whether you like the aesthetic or not. Now, I should probably answer whether you should be pulling for Sandrone in this next patch or not. And pretty much it's going to come down to personal preference. And something that we love to say on the Voodoo Plague streams is, do you like the character? Are you gonna play the character? And if the answer is yes, that you do like that character, then pull on them. If you don't like the character, then do not pull on them. It's pretty simple, cut and dry, though there is something else that I do want to mention, and I'm gonna bring you guys all the way back to 5.8 when Inefa came out. When Inefa was released, a lot of people were very much on the fence about it. They weren't quite sure about the character design, or just were really looking forward to characters like Columbina and everyone else that was to come. So Inefa was the first character with a moon wheel to be able to do the lunar charged reaction. And I myself did end up getting Inefa on that 5.8 banner, and I'm very happy that I did, because a lot of the people that ended up skipping on Inefa ended up regretting it in the past. So really it comes down to, do you want to stay on top of the meta? Do you want to do the stellar conduct reactions? Because I know a lot of people that wanted to do the lunar charge reactions did not get it with Ino, because Ino was not a catalyst for the lunar reactions, which to me honestly is very, very sad. But it's just some food for thought for you guys. So if you want to really stay on top of the meta and do all the new reactions right away, and also have a really good character for doing those newer stellar reactions, I would say probably go for her as well. So there's a few different, things to think about for you guys. Overall, I am absolutely stoked for Sandrone. I love the character design. I love that it looks like you're going to be using her entire kit. There's not really going to be any part of the kit that is going to go to waste, at least from the looks of it. And also, I'm very stoked for everything that is to come in 6.7. We are going to the frickin' moon, guys. That is absolutely crazy. If you told a day one player at the 1.0 patch that, oh yeah, we're gonna go to the moon eventually someday in Genshin, their heads would explode. They wouldn't be able to handle that information. They would just laugh at you too. Bro, that is just so crazy. So let me know, guys, down in the comments below, are you going to be pulling for Sandrone? And also make sure to hit that subscribe button and follow me for more Genshin content. I'll see you guys around.